What's popping, my ninjas? Text-to-speech Mike here once again, to give you the latest juicy Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive news. In today's video, we'll be having a look at Tomonobu Itagaki's body of work as well as some raunchy but cheeky comments he shared about the strange inclusion of a couple characters that, according to him, broke the core values and power level of the mythos behind the Dead or Alive fighting game series. Very exciting, so let's jump into it. Itagaki-san is known for being director and master ninja producer of the Dead or Alive fighting game series, as well as the main creative force behind the modern Ninja Gaiden franchise. Dead or Alive was a long-running fighting game series created by Team Ninja that distinguished itself with fast-paced fluid combat, a command-throw focus mind game, interactive stages, and over-the-top physics-driven spectacle. Unlike its contemporaries, DOA emphasized environmental danger zones and brutal stage transitions, letting players slam opponents through walls or off cliffs for cinematic moments. The franchise also became infamous, and beloved, for its roster of boobalicious, hyper-stylized female fighters, blending technical martial arts gameplay with glossy, sensual character designs. At a time when most fighters focused purely on precision and combos, Dead or Alive carved out its identity by combining the accessibility, power, and speed of Tekken, the stunning graphics and fluidity of Soul Calibur, and the deep, well-balanced fighting engine of Virtua Fighter. Pretty impressive stuff. Which brings us to 2002, where during an interview with Xbox Nation, Tomonobu Itagaki shared some insights about his views on gratuitous fanservice, and how he came to affectionately call the Dead or Alive characters his dearest daughters. What's the exact nature of your involvement in Dead or Alive Xtreme Beach Volleyball?
I'm not the producer of this game.
Right. Who is?
I'm the chief planner. I'm the chief architect. Chief tuner. I'm the chief.
Itagaki abruptly gets up and walks over to the back of the room. He unsheathes a shining, 3-foot katana blade from a display case and points it directly at us.
You like this? What do you think of that?
Very nice. So, the main selling point of this game is sex?
No. The key word for DOAX is paradise.
But it's been rated an 18 and over game in Japan. It's adult entertainment. Itagaki proceeds to flourish the sword in the air, dueling with an invisible opponent.
Let me tell you what entertainment is. Violence. Sex. Friendship. Death. Surprise. Betrayal. Dancing.
To illustrate his point, Itagaki sheaths the katana back in a precise yet smooth motion. I see. Are all those things in this game?
No, not all of these things. Several yes, but not all. First is beauty, second is sex. There's sex, but there's also sex. And last but not least, there's humor. I like a good pun once in a while.
Right. Is it true that the beach volleyball minigame can be played with one hand, leaving the other hand, free?
Sure, if you're into that kind of thing. But that's more to do with keeping the control simple. I have a 5-year-old daughter, you see. I want her to be able to play this game easily.
You want your daughter playing this game?
Okay, not literally. DOAX has a great depth of playability. It uses 2 buttons, but you can just use one if you like it simpler. And don't forget about the D-pad.
A lot of men will buy this game because of the attractive chicks. What is the most risque element you've included in beach volleyball?
You'd be surprised, but this is not really a sex game. The girls are beautiful, but I think of them like daughters. They're my babies.
So there's no nudity at all?
Never. I ask you now, what kind of father would want to show his daughters naked?
I don't know. Do you happen to know any?
Here, look. I'm going to show you the latest trailer. No one else has seen this yet.
Itagaki dims the lights and plays a new trailer for the game. It's similar to the previous trailers, set to the now familiar theme song, How Crazy Are You? Scenes are shown of Hitomi and Kasumi rollerblading in bikinis, playing together in the shallows of the beach.
Does that look sexy to you or what?
Well,
but even if we show nipples, that doesn't necessarily mean sexy. The real entertainment value of this game is in the beauty of the environments, the characters. It's paradise. When I see this, I feel beauty. I feel the love of the characters. I want players to feel the same way as they play.
Fascinating. So who is your personal favorite DOA girl?
Kasumi, for sure. I feel responsible for her. Do you know that some hackers made a nude code for her in DOA 3? It broke my heart. I feel very close to her after that event. It was an attack on her character.
Kasumi is the youngest, right? She's 17. Are you okay with sexualizing a 17-year-old?
Why not? In Japan, that's okay. Maybe it's 20 in America. Keep in mind I was 27 when I created Kasumi. My body may age, but 17-year-old girls are still gorgeous. Still, I'm not the kind of creator that lets my own tastes overwhelm the game. I make games for the player, not just myself.
An altruistic man with commendable tastes indeed. Let's move forward in time. In 2008, just ahead of the release of Ninja Gaiden 2 on the Xbox, Itagaki resigned and left from Tecmo due to breakdown in professional relationship and unresolved contractual promises. Itagaki revealed he'd filed a lawsuit against Tecmo and its president Yoshimi Yasuda, claiming 148 million yen, which is around $1.4 million, in damages for unpaid completion bonuses and unreasonable and disingenuous statements from Tecmo. The core grievance was as follows. Before work on Dead or Alive 4 began, Tecmo allegedly promised him a completion bonus for his role as producer. When payment was due, the agreement was broken. Itagaki claimed Yasuda told him, quote, "If you are dissatisfied with the decision not to receive the bonuses, either quit the company or sue it." Itagaki took him up on that offer and did both. The dispute was eventually settled out of court in March 2010, with terms undisclosed. Itagaki now gone from the company, it was up to Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja to find a new direction for Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive 5 was released back in 2012, that's 7 years after Itagaki Tomonobu's last involvement with the franchise in 2008. While reviews and critics were generally favorable, purists showed signs of division, feeling that Dead or Alive 5 lacked some of the innovation or spirit of its predecessors, equivaling the franchise as a mere cash cow, pointing out the increased predatory microtransaction DLCs business. And despite the core mechanics still being mostly intact, fans believed the series lost its spark. The development of the game appears to have been relatively stable, a new engine was built from scratch and Team Ninja re-examined each character's frame data, refined gameplay mechanics with the introduction of critical burst and power blow attacks, which are mechanics that mark a shift from purely normal bread-butter combo and with an added focus on dramatic and cinematic opportunities. Stage hazards have been improved with the introduction of danger zones and cliffhangers, and the visual presentation was overhauled into a more realistic art style. In short, mechanics were polished rather than reinvented. Expectations were high after such a long hiatus of 7 years, but the game didn't push the envelope enough in certain respects, and the consensus was that Team Ninja played it too safe. Around that time, users on Facebook went to pick Itagaki's brain regarding Dead or Alive 5. He argued that current Team Ninja caused a division in the Dead or Alive fanbase by abandoning the original design philosophy of the series, a philosophy meant to unify many types of players, both casual and hardcore, under one enjoyable experience. Back when he was at the helm of developing the franchise, his goal was to balance accessibility, fun, and style, so all these groups could coexist happily within the DOA universe. He also explains that DOA Xtreme Volleyball was never merely pure eye candy and fan service. The spin-off was designed as a firewall to protect the main DOA fighting games from becoming too sexualized.
Now, don't get me wrong, I love sexy women, that's also one purpose. But in a fighting game, there's no need for really excessive sexual imagery. Naturally, there are definitely people in the DOA fanbase who are looking for that, but at the same time, there are also those who don't want to see that. So I decided to make a spin-off title to solve that dilemma with Zack Island, a paradise on an island in the south.
Itagaki ends his post by telling fans not to turn against each other or lose sight of what made Dead or Alive special. He emphasizes that the fanbase is and always will be the reason why the series survived to this day after more than 2 decades. He asks them to remember who divided you, and to recognize that the community split was not organic, but the result of misguided design choices. A hopeful lamentation to some, but still a remorseful one. Let's talk about Marie Rose.
Bigger isn't always better, you know. Let the red rose of blood bloom forth.
Marie Rose was first introduced in Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate, back in 2013. She is from Sweden and acts as Helena's maid. Players and critics raised an eyebrow at her childlike appearance. For reference, she is 4 feet 10, or 1 meter 47 centimeters high, and weighs 39 kilos. Imagine. A tongue-in-cheek fan theory suggests that her Swedish origins may have been a jab aimed at the censorship controversy that arose during the release of Dead or Alive Dimensions on the Nintendo 3DS handheld. Back in 2011, to avoid possible legal issues, one of Nintendo's longtime Scandinavian distributor decided against releasing Dead or Alive Dimensions in Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. According to a NeoGAF forum poster, it appeared that 3 Dead or Alive Dimensions characters, Kasumi, Kokoro, and Iane, violated Swedish law by being under 18. Problem is, the game has a photo mode minigame wherein girls can be photographed from every angle. Pearl clutching ensued. Then comes Honoka, marking her debut in yet another Dead or Alive 5 expansion, Dead or Alive 5 Last Round, which released in 2015. By that point, this marked the 4th update of the 5th entry in the DOA series. That's 4 different releases for Dead or Alive 5 total by 2015. Honoka is the cousin of Hayate and Kasumi, and, I know this will sound confusing, but she's also both the cousin and half-sister of Iane. Yes, you heard that right. Long story short, it's been established in the DOA lore that Radu, who is Iane and Honoka's father, is a womanizer who really likes to party. Like, a lot. Honoka pretty much shares the same proportions as Marie Rose's. However, she weighs 6 kilos more than Marie due to wearing a large, humongous, heavy-weighted, combat glove. Here's what Itagaki had to say about Honoka and Marie Rose's inclusion in the Dead or Alive roster.
They are distasteful. Not something I want of interest for Dead or Alive family. I do not understand division create. The entry of Momiji Rachel is from separate entity.
Translator note, Momiji was first introduced in the Ninja Gaiden game on Nintendo DS handheld, and Rachel is from the original 2004 Ninja Gaiden on Xbox.
This is something I do not wish to create together, and the world of power is different. That is not the purpose of Dead or Alive. But, the appearance of Momiji Rachel Ninja Gaiden and the new division creative Dead or Alive family is something I do not approve. I cannot explain further, so please understand.
A user asked Itagaki what he thought about Mai from Fatal Fury after she was added as DLC in DOA 5.
The inclusion of the Fire Maiden Mai Shirani and Sega Virtua was brilliant. Please remember that they are guests in the house and always invited to return. But their story and Ninja Gaiden should not combine.
In short, this comics by Ball Buddy sums up the story nicely. Tomonobu Itagaki passed away in October of 2025. He was one of the last rockstar Japanese developers, whose wild vision and energy redefined the action and fighting genres. His games were pure adrenaline, high-octane showdowns, inventive mechanics that pushed boundaries, and yes, his trademark lineup of over-the-top, boobalicious bombshells embodied the rebellious spirit of his work and his adoration for beauty. Love it or hate it, his style was unmistakable, and his influence can be seen in countless modern titles that still chase his brand of unfiltered ninja fun. Itagaki-san thrived in the chaos of competition, weaving a friendly but fiery rivalry with fellow creators like Hideki Kamiya from Capcom and Harada Katsuhiro of Tekken fame. Itagaki-san blurred the line between play and performance, a bit of kayfabe that made the industry more exciting. He relished the villain role, taunting his peers while secretly driving them to create better, bolder games. Though he leaves us before finding full redemption, his legacy remains indelible, a loud, flawed, visionary who made gaming wilder, sexier, and more alive. Thanks for watching.